Hi, I'm Karen
Okay.
Wolf from Sci-Fi-Vision. Thanks so much. My question is for Ethan. We've seen a lot of different versions of Spock and takes on Spock from different writers and actors in the Star Trek universe. I think this is the most emotional Spock. It's common to see these emotion episodes, but Spock really is going through some stuff, and I don't think we often get to see Spock acting like a bit like a 12-year-old. And I wonder if you could just talk to our viewers a bit about what we're going to see with Spock emotionally this season. Thank you.
We will see Spock further explore his human side, and he does this in various situations and relationships as well. I think it's very apparent in his interactions with Nurse Chapel, and uh, yeah, there's a really wonderful situation where Spock can do nothing but face his humanness that I'm very excited about.
Thank you.
Rachel Leishman from the Mary Sue. Uh, hey guys, with Spock and Kirk, or I like to call them Spurk, but I've gotten yelled at work for doing so. But I love kind of always like how that dynamic is so important to Star Trek when we were telling a story about these two characters. And for both of you, what was kind of the joy in like getting to know it was coming and knowing that there was going to be another Spock and Kirk for audiences to fall in love with and want to follow along with?
Should we get Spurk tattoos?
That's a great idea.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
um, well, we actually got to know each other offset mostly before getting to know each other on camera as these characters, which was really fun because I find Paul so easy to get along with, and was always very excited to see him, and then to have that sort of that that foundational relationship, which I think really supports this strange interaction between these two very different characters that we get to see a little bit of in season two. And so I think it really added a lot of nuance to that moment when the momentous moment that these two characters meet.
Yeah. Yeah, similarly. I do think one's relationship with another actor off screen or your general chemistry, it does actually translate onto the screen. I'm of that belief. So we do get on quite well, Ethan and I. And as Spock and Kirk obviously have this very deep friendship. Again, this is all nascent. Like it's, we haven't figured this out. The characters don't know how important their relationship is, which is fun because they're sort of subconsciously, I think, drawn to one another, but they don't really know why.
Hi, Stephanie Holland from The Root. Paul, I really enjoyed when Kirk and Uhura got to hang out together and we got to see the beginning of that friendship and that relationship, which obviously is very important in the Star Trek universe. And I'm wondering what that was like for you to get to play the early beginnings of their relationship.
Yeah, another hugely important relationship in the Star Trek universe, obviously. She's Celia's Celia's a really wonderful actor, very rich in terms of just her emotions are so easily accessible for her. She's a stage actress. She really has such a deep presence. I think what makes Spock and Kirk fascinating is how different they are. Similarly, he was able to sort of be there for her and fulfill some sort of need that she needed to fulfill something, and she needed to sort of figure things out about her own self and her character's evolution. And Kirk was able to be there for her and be a part of that journey. You try not to think too much about how big of a deal it is for these two characters to meet. Similar with my relationship with Spock and when they first meet. And so you have to keep reminding yourself that these characters don't know how important this is, that they're just characters. And I'm still new to that because I'm still figuring out this role. And so I going in, I need to calm myself down and not make a big meal out of everything and just sort of play it honestly.
Hi, this is Jamie Steinberg with Starry Constellation magazine. Ethan, this is such an interesting season for Spock. At the start, we see him very in touch with his emotions, and he's been given this instrument to sort of release the emotions. And it's similar, sort of, I think, to a harpsichord. Talk about learning to play that instrument and your experience with it.
Yeah, I actually grew up playing classical cello. And so there's like, I would actually relate it more to, oh my gosh, what's the instrument called? We had a really wonderful musical consultant come in and sort of teach me how to play. Oh my God, we did this so long ago that I can't remember what the instrument was that he put. I think it was the lyre. It was like a Renaissance instrument. And so it was really wonderful to be able to incorporate this sort of secret ability that I have to play the cello that like my friends like don't even know that I do. They hear that I know how to play and they're like, "Are you playing a trick on me?" And so it was really fun to bring that in. And I do personally believe that playing an instrument is such an amazing outlet for emotion. And so it was very easy to connect with that. And so fun to kind of wrap Spock around this very emotional activity and see what that means to him.
You'll have to play the cello for me sometime, Ethan.
I shall woo you.
Can't wait.
Mike Bovia, Trek Geeks. Paul, just wanted to ask you, so you had that chance encounter with William Shatner on the plane not so long ago. Playing a younger version of Kirk than was previously portrayed on screen, does it make it easier for you to not go toward the impersonation side of what Shatner did versus going in your own direction?
Yeah, I actually saw Shatner last week at an event, interestingly enough. But yeah, very much so. I asked that question going in. I said, guys, you want me to, how much of an imitation slash, and they said, please just do your own thing, and I think what you just said is the most important aspect, which is he's not the Kirk we know yet. He's still figuring it out. He's not this, sure-footed captain. He's a lieutenant. He's still kind of this boy, and he's like kind of still figuring out his place. And I think that if I have the honor of continuing to play this character, I would like to slowly develop some of those characteristics that we sort of know so well. Such a big part of TV history.
Hey, hi guys. Paul, what's it like? I mean, you and Ethan can jump in too. There's obviously sort of rules in playing these guys, even though they're kind of early in their development. And then there's the script, and then there's you as actors. So how do you balance all of that?
Not easily. I mean, Ethan has been doing this much longer than I have, in terms of playing iconic characters. You can almost answer this better than I can, because you've had much more experience. Do you want to take it?
Yeah, sure. I mean, Paul and I actually got to meet up and grab a meal together before he started filming, after he was cast. And it was really wonderful to be able to share what I had learned about my onboarding to the world of Star Trek and to this iconic character of Spock. And yeah, there are rules. You're absolutely right that were established by, respectively Leonard Nimoy for myself and William Shatner for Paul. And I think it's just it's a very delicate dance that you have with these characters that already exist. And so for me personally, I really did my best to internalize Leonard Nimoy's creation. Right, Spock is his creation, and then once that kind of felt alive in me, to let go and just be. And I think Paul was really tasked with a great challenge, because he's got to jump in after we've been filming, for 6 months, and we've already spent all this time with these characters, and they really asked the impossible of him, and I think he did an amazing job. And I think fans will be really excited to see him in season 2, and he really gets to explore Kirk as we want to know him as a sort of like playful, charming, dangerous guy.
It's like something familiar yet different, but it all works out. I recognize these guys.
Yeah, that's the idea.
How would you describe your characters' leadership styles and how do they compare to Pike's?
Oh, great question. Paul, you want to start on that one?
Yeah, my character's not quite a leader yet. I think that's Pike is this, you know, Anson does such a brilliant job of creating this sort of incredibly confident, incredibly, you know, Anson's the kind of guy you're like, okay, if this ship's going down, I want this guy captain because I think he'll probably figure it out. My character's not there yet. William Shatner's character is there. My character's not there yet. And so, you know, but I think what's most important is to maintain that sort of, Kirk has a very clear moral compass that is absolutely not shakable. He knows what's right, he knows what's wrong, and he has incredible instincts. And I think that that's something you're born with. And I think he's born with that, and that doesn't go away.
As I understand it, Spock really has no desire to command. And so he really enjoys being the instrument of this team, being an instrument of this team. And so his command style, I guess, is sort of unknown to him. And we'll see in episode 1 a little bit more what it's like. And you'll see that he's learned from Captain Pike and from Michael Burnham.